Switching gears now and focusing on the UEFA Champions League semi-final. The first leg's coming up this week in Madrid. Real Madrid against Manchester City on Tuesday. Doesn't get much bigger than this, gentlemen. Andy, I'm going to come to you first with the easy question. Who are the favourites to win this tie? Because Man City are on fire right now. Real Madrid are struggling a little bit in La Liga, but they're resting players, had some key injuries. Modric has been out recently. So seems like, once again under Carlo Ancelotti, they're just focusing now on the Champions League. Almost muscle memory, right? Trying to get back into the groove as they always have done in this competition. So it maybe isn't as straightforward as it looks because the bookie, everyone else is saying, oh, Man City right now, they got to get through to the final. They're going to win the whole thing. But I'm not so sure.
About a month ago, before the start of the knockout rounds, we predicted. I went with City, and have felt great about that through the knockout rounds until now. But then you see Real Madrid putting all of the eggs in the Champions League basket, and suddenly don't feel quite as confident before. There are very few teams can turn it off and turn it on, game to game, competition to competition. But Real Madrid, and especially under Carlo Ancelotti, are one of the teams that can do that and have done that multiple times, in recent seasons. So that makes me a little bit worrisome, but it just feels the momentum and the formula that City have going right now, bouncing back and forth between a couple of different systems based on opponents. Do we really need to be on the front foot? Is it going to be a little bit more of an open game? Is it going to be a little bit more cagey? I would imagine it's going to be fairly cagey, at least in the first leg. Real Madrid, they understand how to manage a 180-minute tie better than anybody in the world. And so you will have to pick and choose moments, I think, in this tie where you go for it and where you just say, not worth the risk, not worth what could happen if we take this risk here. And so the chess match, I feel like it's already began because Carlo is kind of has put the eggs into that basket, and he's already kind of made the first move between the Pep versus Carlo battle. And so we will see, obviously, Pep overthinking, hopefully not. It feels like he knows this team, I think, is as well, maybe better than any team he's had at City, and just understands kind of how to shift them through the gears, and actually kind of has a plan B this time around. That has always been the thing with City and Pep is, well, sure, possession, it's great, but what else do you have when that's not working? And they've shown a little bit of something different in recent weeks.
Yeah, they did, especially against Arsenal, right? Going more direct, and De Bruyne and Haaland just going down the heart of the team. So Haaland, I mentioned him there, Nick, obviously record-breaking week for him, setting the all-time Premier League record for most goals in a single season. How do you stop him if you're Real Madrid? Obviously, it's a very easy question I'm giving you here, but it seems like someone like Rudiger will really relish that one-on-one physical battle. I'm not sure if you can hang with Haaland, but that will be pretty tasty at the heart of the defence there. Militao, you've got obviously Modric, potentially Kroos in front of them. Is it all about, as Sam Allardyce said, just stop the service and the supply to Haaland, and it'll be fine, limit his chances?
Yeah, sure it is.
Yeah.
Great hire there, Leeds. I'll tell you what, he hasn't, just one quick Sam note, he does have a knack for saying the obvious and make it sound like it's novel. Look, I think
that's true.
The best hope that Real Madrid has is having one of the best big game goalkeepers in the world, in Courtois, who's been, a phenomenal player, because Haaland is going to get his chances. And I think at least at the outset for this first tie, or for the first leg of this tie, you're going to see Pep Guardiola, in all likelihood, roll out the formation that's been working for him, the plan that's been working for him, and dare Real Madrid to make him think more about what he wants to do, whether it be at halftime of the first leg or in between legs. So how do you stop Haaland? You better have I guess at this point, you better have a philosophy that catches him off guard. And I just don't see that happening, because it is his first time ever against most of these players. It's definitely his first time against Real Madrid, and they don't have experience going against him. And I think his balance, his body type, his the power he brings to the table, and his knack for going to the right places or going to different places than people expect, has proven to be a challenge for people to recognize and adapt to. And there's a comparison to baseball, where pitchers are facing hitters the first time through the order, or hitters are facing pitchers the first time through the order. And then by the time they get to the third time, managers sometimes take out a very good pitcher just because there's a familiarity for the batter. So, yeah, I just think this all does point to a potentially very good first leg for City.
Andy, prediction-wise,
Yeah,
what are you thinking?
let me throw in a stat here real quick to kind of back up what Nick's saying. So Militao and Rudiger have played all 3 of the last 3 league games together for Real Madrid. They've given up 8 goals in those 3 games, and so it's not just that they're not getting results. It's that the results are very poor, and the performances are matching them as well.
That's true, and they dropped down to what, 3rd spot in La Liga. Atletico's overtaken them, but top 4 is secured. So they obviously really are focusing on wrapping their best players in cotton wool ahead of these 2 games against Man City. I think it's going to be a draw. I could see like a 1-1 or maybe even a 2-2 in Madrid in the first leg, and Benzema and others just having not a field day, but having a bit of joy with this. If it is the 3-2-4-1 formation that they've been rolling out recently, still think there's a few gaps in there for teams to exploit. And obviously, Real Madrid against Liverpool, we saw that right in the first leg. They can blitz teams in a 20-minute period, and Man City know that better than anyone after the way they were dumped out of the competition last year by Real. So that's what I'm going with. Andy, prediction time?
Yeah, it does feel like it's a fairly massive advantage for Madrid having the first leg at home, and I know we've kind of flip-flopped in recent years, first leg, second leg, which is more important. You get that advantage at the halfway point of the tie. I don't know, City are going to have to play really defensive, I think, and can they commit to that for 90 minutes? Because we know the chances are going to be there for Real Madrid, and City probably have to go a little bit more direct the way that they did against Arsenal, soak up a little bit more pressure, and try and get De Bruyne along. So I'm gonna, with that in mind, I think maybe a 2-1 to Madrid, but keep City obviously just a goal down, very much in the tie. And I think if they could go back to the Etihad down just a goal, I think Pep would probably sign up for that now and just skip playing the first leg.
Nick, your thoughts?
I'm going to go 2-1 City. I think that it is obviously a major challenge, but I can see us talking about next week. Hey, City has the advantage, but they've thrown this away before against Real Madrid. Like, I think the storyline starts to write itself a bit, and I think Pep has played the system well, and I think he's played his lineup well, and I think his players are going to be ready and rested, relatively speaking, for this game.
Yeah, it's going to be so interesting, right? Because you mentioned there the weight of expectation on Man City. That it's like, all right, now it's time to do it. Now it's time to win this Champions League title. And you have Haaland in this incredible form, De Bruyne in great form. You've rested some players recently. It's now not now or never, but now is the best opportunity. It feels like compared to the last few seasons. So let's wait and see. We've been here before with Man City, but it should be an absolute beauty of a game. So head over to Pro Soccer Talk on NBCSports.com for the how to watch information, live analysis, reaction, video from Real Madrid against Man City. Massive, massive first leg of the Champions League semi-final coming up.
Hi there, I'm Rebecca Lowe, studio host for NBC's coverage of the Premier League. Don't forget to hit subscribe to watch more videos all season long. For even more Premier League content, from original series to live matches, head over to Peacock and be sure to tune in for Premier League mornings every weekend on USA Network and on Peacock. We will see you over there.